Hey everyone, Barty Toto Drake here, New York Times bestselling author of the book called The Power of Asking, Creating All That You Deserve. And what I want to talk to you about today is how you can stand out in 2017 different than everyone else. Now, I did a Facebook Live video today and I ruffled quite a few feathers, and that was my intention. One thing about me is I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear, but what works and what doesn't. Now, for those of you who don't know me, in another life, I was a nurse for about 17, 18 years. I took the love of helping other people onto the internet. What I'm known for is branding and how to stand out in a niche market with social media. So dominating your niche with social media. It's also how I had a guy, bless him, in 2011, pirate my courses. I sued him, he retaliated and slandered me all over the internet. So, I must be doing something right to get this one hater that he was something else. But anyway, the whole thing about this video is to stand out and be different than everybody. Okay, when everyone goes right, I go left. I am not like most branding and marketing people out there. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear, but what works and what doesn't. I stand out from the norm. And I want you to think about how can you stand out this year from the norm. And forgive me how I look today. I just came back from the gym, but it's not what I look like. It's what I say that comes out of my mouth that is going to motivate you, inspire you, and I hope educate you. So back to what I was saying. You have to stand out from the norm. Okay, so one of the things that I tell people is Facebook pages don't work. People will go and like your page once, never to go back again. The other thing that a lot of these social media people are trying to feed y'all is to buy Facebook ads or buy into Facebook ads. Let me tell you something. So what I did different was I figured out a way to use the same demographics that Facebook ads uses at no cost. And I actually show proof in my webinar. I think the webinar is gratitudewebinar.com, where I showed the proof that you can actually use the same demographics that Facebook ads uses at no cost. Now, what other things that I do differently than everyone else? Now, I'm not saying this stuff to impress you, but to impress upon you. Maybe you'll get an idea from listening to this video. The other thing I do is I was born in Texas, but raised in Hawaii, and I was raised with the Aloha Spirit, aka gratitude. Now, here in the mainland, y'all celebrate gratitude, it seems like only at Thanksgiving. I live gratitude year-round. I'm not saying I'm different than anybody else. I'm not trying to sound like a snob, but that's just who I am. I live gratitude year-round. So I have figured out a way how to use gratitude to brand myself, or how to brand yourself or brand your company or your business using gratitude. And that is how I've gotten sponsored by American Airlines. I've gotten followed by Starbucks. I have Lisa Gibbons. The list goes on and on and on. And while everyone else is on Facebook, my clients are killing it with Twitter. So I teach people how to, use Twitter fearlessly. Other things that I do thinking outside the box is something I created called the invisible branding method, which is what makes you different than every other realtor, what makes you different than every other entrepreneur. If you're in an MLM, what is going to make you stand out from everyone else? And so people come to me with their ideas or their products, or, they come to me asking me, Barty, I'm just so-and-so. I work for a company. I work for Joe Blow. What, can I do to stand out from everyone else? So I have people come to me for that. Some ideas for you, just to stand out. If you have a boss or you have a job, the power of asking, and I'm not saying this to sell you my book or anything like that, but the power of asking helps you with asking, but also asking questions. So one of the ways that I stand out, or that I teach my clients to stand out, or maybe you can stand out in your job, is, ask your boss, how was his week? ask your boss questions. Most people are intimidated by their bosses, so they don't ask questions. That's the other thing that you can do this year in 2017 is by asking questions. So really quick, there's 3 things to the power of asking. There's people that are afraid of asking. There's people that get the yes and then they self-sabotage. I told on myself in another video that Michael Beckwith, when he said he would write the foreword of my first book, I froze because I'm like, oh my gosh, he's been on Oprah, PBS, all this stuff. And I didn't want to be everything to everybody. And I got over that really quick, but that's been 9 years ago. So, oh my gosh, a long time when he and I met. So the third thing is communication, standing out, being differently, and communicating. Or you know what? Being blunt like myself in a kind way where you're not just telling people what they want to hear so that they can make money. I am so sick right now of people saying, oh, you can lose all this weight for the new year, or you can make $10,000 in 30 days. I need my barf bag. Okay, seriously. And a lot of it is about perception. How I've gotten on ABC TV, Good Morning Texas, all this stuff that has happened to me has been because I refuse to go by the norm. I refuse to do the same thing everyone else is doing out there, whether it's Facebook ads. I refuse to, be greedy. Somebody said, oh, you can make a lot of money. To me, it's about transforming lives and making a difference, okay? If you are greedy and it's all about the money, 1, shut off this video. 2, you need to have more of an interest in other people than that you do yourself, and you will be highly, highly unusually successful. So the other thing I'm different is I don't care what people think of me. I'm sitting here. I don't need to dress up for a video. I want to tell you, bluntly, whatever comes out of my mouth and that you get from is important to me. It's not how I look, and I'm sure you don't care either. So with that said, I want to wish you a happy new year. Click on the link below on this video and come on my webinar, either the Power of Asking webinar.com or gratitudewebinar.com. And those are 2 webinars that I'm running right now. And if you have any questions seriously about ideas you might have for your business, or you just want to talk, the other thing I do differently is I give out my phone number. Why nobody ever calls me. They call me because they're afraid and intimidated, which please don't be intimidated or afraid. I mean, I'm leaving my number for a reason. And this is kind of like, this is my ministry. I will not just work with anyone. I will not just work with everyone. I do interview people to see if we're a fit because I don't tolerate excuses, and I won't let people give me excuses. If you're making excuses why you can't do something, don't be surprised when your clients and your employees or your whoever give you excuses back. It's a mirror reflecting what you need to work on. So anyway, that is my rant. Happy 2017. I hope you got something out of this. And maybe it gave you an idea. Maybe you have an idea and you just want to call me, and I'm fine with that. So blessings.